Hey, what's up? Figured now would be a good time to make a video. My first one actually, as I'm hiking up the side of this mountain here. And I didn't really have anything in particular to talk about. It's just a nice experience. And I guess something like this isn't the kind of thing that people do very often nowadays. I mean, specifically what I'm doing, like shredding my calves on this steep incline here, right? Like, I'm not saying people in the past would be doing that non-stop. More so, it's just kind of disconnecting and being out away from the hustle of things. I'm not saying people in the past would just intentionally go and do some sort of meditation on the peak. I've never read Ebola, so I don't know what that means, but I think what I'm doing now kind of ascribes to that. But what I mean is, people in the past would just part of daily life. You didn't have to think about disconnecting from the social and the technology and the hustle. It was just integrated. There wasn't much thought that needed to be put into it. Whereas now, like for me to be doing this, I have to make sure I have a couple days off, have enough money for gas, have enough time, make sure there's places that are open and ready to go. The view's pretty good here. I'm enjoying it. But you didn't need to do all those things. You didn't need to intentionally act to tear yourself away. And that's why I think so many people don't get the chance to actually just be present in nature. Because I think, people are unhealthy for a lot of reasons, like a lot, and being disconnected from nature is no new revelation. But part of the problem is there's no means by which people can unintentionally just disconnect. To put in a lot of work to figure all that out. And so what's the solution to that? Well, I didn't start this video with a solution in mind. I didn't start this video with a topic in mind. Sorry, I'm getting blasted with wind, so might be droning out my voice here. A little bit of snow as well. But a solution to this particular issue, which I would consider a societal health issue, would involve a state or a government, or just leaders in general, that actually recognize that problem that is the overstimulation of modern life, and build in outlets to nature, to that meditative experience of just being out without any commitments, without any stimuli to get you caught up in the world. Because if people don't have that built for them, yeah, there's some high agency people and some people with enough resources that will make it happen, but most people, they're not going to be able to just flip on a switch and pull it off, whether it's just not a concern that comes to their mind, or whether they just don't have the resources or the time to make it happen. So, we're not getting out of the disease without figuring out how to ensure people get back in touch with stuff like this. And then, again, not everyone's gonna be hiking up a mountain in November, shredding their calves, but I mean, it's as simple as just being out in a park. Like, it doesn't have to be that hard, and people should just be able to have that flow as part of the day, because I feel great right now, and like, generally speaking, live a pretty healthy life, don't have any medical problems, but this experience on its own has boosted my mood like tenfold. It's just great. I just smiling the whole drive in, seeing the mountain ranges rise up over top of me. It's a great feeling. It didn't take any sort of, you know, artistic investigation to the aesthetic nature of mountains or some stupid shit like that. You just had to live through the moment. And I think a lot of the over-rationalization of all of these types of meditative experiences and these experiences in nature is what causes people to separate themselves so much from just being present. Because, I don't know, again, this is no new point, but I mean, the rationality of enlightenment, or whatever you want to call it, most people don't act like that. Majority of people don't. And it's not good to try and force people to act like that, because the healthy way of living is just the intuitive way of living. And the intuitive way of living is just living through what's in front of you, having the world come to you as it already is. You don't need to reflect back to, you know, put all the pieces together of what happened. Like, it just did happen. It was there in front of you. And when you live like that, your life is 10 times better. It's not to say there's no value in being able to reflect back and draw some insights, draw some intellectual advancements from what experience you had. But most people don't need to do that. There's no point in forcing education on people that teaches them to act in that way, that the only way to live is this rational, you know, completely independent thinker, because that's just not what we are. So essentially, we just need to disconnect and have that disconnect just as a part of societal living, and teach that as the default. And again, it's not something that you really should be teaching necessarily. It's the fact that we teach the opposite that is the problem. And when people can just live through things intuitively, and I'm saying this again, but you know, it's just healthier for them. So yeah, I think we just need to disconnect. It's not a big insight, but it feels good. It's happening right now, except for this video is not really disconnecting, but it was a good opportunity to put something out there. And I mean, I like what I'm seeing up here. I'm sure anyone would like what they're seeing up here. And honestly, if you want to be fit and healthy, again, you don't need to climb a mountain to do that, but you do need to just be present in the moment, and not some mindfulness bullshit that you would learn in some like Buddhism meditation course, right? But back to what I said earlier, just understanding the world is already there as it is. It's given to you, and when you just live through that pre-givenness without trying to overanalyze each experience, you're gonna feel a lot better. So it sucks that you have to practice doing that again, because that's sort of the default that we're born into. But yeah, it's something to put into practice on your own level. You'll find people, like you'll find people in your life that are overanalyzing everything, and it will just ruin their experience. I mean, you see this with people really enmeshed in models of psychology. Like, they need to put a psychological model onto every experience and every emotion, and you know, again, they can be useful heuristics. Not even, like, most of them aren't useful heuristics. Just put some language to it, but again, you're constantly changing, so why stick a label just based on one experience when there's, again, multiple different rays of experience that come together, and those are always synthesizing into the unity that you see at the present. But obviously there's more that come into the fold. So when you see people using these psychological models and getting caught up and trying to, I don't know, psychoanalyze or build a model of what's the right remedy to their particular mental issue, you gotta just get them to snap out of it. It's gonna ruin their life. The whole psychologized way of thinking does more harm than good, and again, no big insight there. Just simply something that I think we've got to act to deconstruct and send people back to a type of living where they just understand their experiences as what's in front of them and let them live through the moment instead of building models of the mind and diagnosing. And then you get stuck trying to always remedy that particular diagnosis, but you're not static. So it's always better just to first don't try to analyze what's happening as it's happening. Reflection's okay to draw some lessons, but it doesn't actually tell you what really happened, because at the end of the day, everything that went into that experience, all those multiple rays of experience, the individual pieces, your mood at the time, the weather, people around you, what you were just thinking before you had that experience, all those things come together for that unity. And it's not like you can reflect back and pull out every little detail so you fully understand what happened. So your reflections only tell you so much. They can't tell you the whole story. So get that through your own head, get that through your friends and family's head, the people that matter to you. Build a community that has this more intuitive understanding of experience, where you can just disconnect and just be present and live through the world. So, I mean, if everyone can dial that in, we'll be golden. We'll be feeling way better. And I mean, it's once you get your people healthy, there's a lot you can do, but you gotta take the first steps. And it's not an easy thing to do, but I say just go and do something to disconnect. Do something to be out here. be harsh if you need to. I always appreciate that. And enjoy the rest of your day. See ya.